Hi everyone, this is your math guru. In this video, I'm going to show you how to factorize the following polynomials by grouping in pairs. Please don't forget to click on the like and subscribe button below for more easy to understand math concepts. When you have a polynomial with 4 or more terms, it is sometimes difficult to find a common factor. So the other option is to group or is to factorize by grouping in pairs. In this example, we have 3x minus 6xy minus 2y plus 1. This is a polynomial with 4 terms. Therefore, I'm going to start by grouping into pairs. That is, I have 3x minus 6xy, that's the first pair, plus the second pair, we have minus 2y plus 1. The next step is to look for a common factor within each pair. In the first pair, we have 3x minus 6xy. The common factor, or the highest common factor for the two terms, is 3x. So if I have 3x, what I'm going to do next is divide each term in the bracket by 3x to know the factor that remains. So I have 3x divided by 3x, which is the common factor, minus 6xy over 3x. I'm going to do the same in the second bracket. If you look at the second bracket, I have minus 2y plus 1. The common factor here is 1. So if I bring out my plus 1, the terms remains the same. That's minus 2y plus 1. If I go back to my first bracket, I still have my 3x in bracket. 3x divided by 3x, I have 3x here 1, 3x here 1. So I have 1 minus 3 in 3, 1, but 3 in 6, 2. Then we have the x cancelling each other. So therefore I'm left with 2y close bracket plus 1 minus 2y plus 1. If you look at the two brackets, you see that we have plus 1 minus 2y. I have minus 2y plus 1. I have the same terms arranged differently. So what I'm going to do is to rearrange the terms in the bracket so that they look exactly the same. I have 3x. I leave this as 1 minus 2y. I have plus 1, 1 minus 2y. What I've done is a plus b is equal to b plus a. Therefore, you can see that I now have factors that are exactly the same in the bracket. So therefore, if I factor out the common factor, that's 1 minus 2y, on my left hand side, I'm left with 3x and plus 1. So I have 3x plus 1. I'm done factorizing. My answer is, open bracket, 1 minus 2y close bracket, multiplying open bracket 3x plus 1. Let's look at the next example. In the next example, I have 6m squared minus 2mn minus 3mp plus np. Like I did earlier, I'm going to start by grouping them in pairs. The first pair, I have 6m squared minus 2mn plus, always separate the brackets by plus and retain the signs for each term, minus 3mp plus np. The next step is to look for the common factors for the two terms. In the first term, or in the first bracket, I have 2m as my common factor, and to find the factor that remains, it means I'm going to divide all the terms in the bracket by the common factor 2m. I have 2mn divided by 2m. I'm done with the first bracket. And the second bracket, I'm going to factor out my p. Likewise, I've got to divide all the terms by p. I have plus np over p. That will give us, I still have my 2m. To know what is left, I have 2 in 2, 1, 2 in 6, 3. Then I have m squared divided by m. I'm left with 1m. 2 in 2, that's 1. M cancels m. And the second bracket, I have p divided by p1, also p divided by p1. So therefore, I have 2m in bracket, 3m minus, I'm left with n plus p in bracket minus 3m plus n, close bracket. If you check the two bracket, you observe that even though the terms are the same, that is 3m and n, the signs are different. We have a plus 3m and minus n. In the second bracket, we have a minus 3m and plus n. So to make the content of the bracket exactly the same, I'm going to factor out minus 1 in the second bracket. Factoring out minus 1 will change the signs in the bracket, and that will mean my plus p will become a minus. So I have 2m in bracket 3m minus n. This becomes minus p in bracket 3m. Remember, once I change the sign of the outside the bracket, the signs inside the bracket also flips. Now you can see that the content of the bracket is exactly the same. So my common factor is now 3m minus n, and on my left hand side I'm left with 2m and minus p. So I have 2m minus p. Let's look at the last example. In the last example, the first step is to group in pairs. So I have my 8am minus 10an. Always separate by your plus before you start changing the signs. Minus 12bm plus 15bn. The next step is to look for a common factor. In the first bracket, the common factor is 2a. In bracket, I'm going to divide all the terms by 2a to know what factor is left. I have 10am over 2a, close bracket. In the second bracket, I have 3b as a common factor. I'm going to divide all the terms by a 3b plus 15bn over 3b, close bracket. That will give us, we have 8 divided by 2, that's 4. And we have a cancelling a. We have 2 in 10, that will give us 5. Then we also have a divided by a1. In the second bracket, we have 3 in 12, 4. We have b divided by b1. 3 in 15, 5. b divided by b1. So writing out our new factors, we have 2a bracket 4m minus, we're left with 5n plus 3b in bracket minus 4m plus 5n. Like we observed in the last example, the terms are exactly the same, but the signs are different. So to make the terms exactly the same thing together with the signs, we need to factor out minus 1 in the second bracket such that we have 2a. I still have my 4m minus 5n. Because I'm taking out minus 1 or factoring out minus 1, the sign changes. That will be minus 3b bracket 4m. That will now be positive 4m. Then plus 5 times minus 1, that will be minus 5n. You observe that the content of the bracket is now exactly the same. So that will be the common factor, which is 4m minus 5n. And what we have left is 2a minus 3b. So I have 2a minus 3b. Thanks for watching. Bye.